I can't wait for the day when I could tell my future wife and kids that dad doesn't go to work because he just makes videos from home. I don't need to worry about that silly thing called a job because I'm too busy entertaining the masses with my brand, Wet Sox Entertainment. Even though that doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, I'm still happy to pump out content under my banner of Wet Sox Entertainment. But do I actually own the name? I have the name on my YouTube, obviously. I have it on TikTok. I use it for Reddit, and I have it against all social media platforms that I know of. But what if X decides to take my Twitter handle and use it as their own? What if YouTube decides that Wet Sox Entertainment is a good name for a laundry show, and they just decide to take over my channel? Can they do that? For those that don't want to go through the whole video and just want a quick answer, the answer is, it depends. For a lot of people, our online identities have become integral to both our personal and professional lives. Besides just the actual social aspect of social media, these sites are where people like streamers, journalists, and other content creators build their brand through a digital presence. A social media handle is the main identifier that represents that digital presence. A lot of people think that once you create a handle when signing up for your profile, you now own that name. However, it is much more complex, and with recent events, it shows that for the most part, we do not actually own our online names. I said earlier it depends, and that is because it is up to the social media platforms themselves. When you first sign up to social media, you agree to a little thing called the Terms of Service. When you scroll past all the random words and click agree, you are basically signing a contract to use their platform. And in that contract, you are agreeing to certain rights and limitations. The best way to show these limitations is showing what recently happened with Twitter becoming X. So when Elon Musk rebranded Twitter to X, he wanted to take control of @X. Seeing as that is the name of their new company, it would make sense to actually own the handle of their company on their own platform. But for people that have been on Twitter, you could probably guess that someone already had @X years prior to Elon Musk even thinking of buying Twitter. So is Elon screwed? Is he forced to make his company handle X with a random group of numbers? The answer is obviously not. One day randomly, the owner of @X got an email saying that X is now taking your handle, and ironically, they thanked him for his loyalty. X did offer a tour of their company as well as some merch, but for someone who had built this digital presence, you could probably guess that he was a little upset. But he actually reacted pretty well to the takeover, tweeting on his new account, "All's well that ends well." But what if something like this happened to someone whose entire income came from their digital identity? Well, that could get ugly. And sure enough, it did over on Reddit, with the platform in a legal battle with the creator of their most popular page. Wall Street Bets is a subreddit page on Reddit that became famous for playing a major role in the GameStop short squeeze, which caused the GameStop stock prices to rise over 600% in just a few days. Wall Street Bets was founded in 2012 by 39-year-old Jamie Rogozinski to create a community where people could talk about high-risk stock trades for people to make some short-term money. Within just 4 years, Wall Street Bets had begun to flourish, accruing roughly 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2016. By 2020, the Wall Street Bets subreddit had amassed over 1 million followers. With the success of the subreddit he created, Rogozinski decided to apply for a trademark for the name Wall Street Bets, believing that this was his brand to monetize. Just a month later, Rogozinski was removed and banned from being the moderator for Wall Street Bets. Reddit claimed that they banned Rogozinski for trying to monetize the community by promoting his book and an esports competition, which is against Reddit's terms of service. Regardless, Rogozinski sued Reddit for trademark infringement for the continued use of Wall Street Bets without his permission. The court dismissed the case, claiming that Rogozinski's lawsuit did not meet the necessary legal standards. However, the court addressed the interesting issue of who owns trademark rights in a user-generated community. Reddit asserted that the company owed the trademark rights. The argument was that under intellectual property laws, ownership of a mark isn't met just through registration of a trademark, but rather the first use of the mark in commerce. So basically, Rogozinski launching the subreddit page constituted the company Reddit's use of the trademark, and not actually his. In recent years, retail investors have flocked to the subreddit, which has over 13 million subscribers as of today. It was also recently featured in Dumb Money, starring Paul Dano and Seth Rogen, for its role in boosting the short squeeze on GameStop. and yet Rogozinski is not affiliated with any of it. Social media has transcended its original purpose of mere social interaction. It has evolved into a critical space for brand identity. But as we have just seen, we really don't own our own brand when it comes to social media. So what do you do? The best answer as an intellectual property attorney that I can come up with is to create a brand outside of their social media. Basically, you cannot directly trademark a social media handle, but you can trademark a business. If you consider your social media your brand and have made money from it, you could trademark your handle as long as you have a use in commerce. Your best bet when making sure your handle is legally viable is to branch out to different pathways outside of just tweeting or posting. The two easiest ways is to use your handle or content to advertise for businesses. The other is to make your social media handle into merchandise for others to buy. These two uses will show that your mark is being used in commerce and is tied to businesses that are outside just your social media account. In the rapidly evolving landscape of social media, understanding and utilizing the power of the law can be a game changer for brands and aiming to protect their online identities. While none of us actually read the terms of service, it is without a doubt a real issue when it comes to our social media accounts. For the most part, these companies are not doing anything to violate the law, so it is up to us to stay informed and use the system just like they are.